What's up guys, Nightwing19 here. Arrow did not disappoint Wednesday with Deathstroke. Let's break down all of the juicy stuff that went down this episode. Slade puts Oliver in the hot seat. It's clear that Slade plans to destroy Oliver's world by revealing he's a liar to Thea and that Oliver is the vigilante to Laurel. But this plan sort of brought Oliver and his mom closer together ever since Oliver found out that Malcolm Merlin was Thea's dad. Isabel Roshif works with Slade, so their connection is still unknown, and surprisingly, she knows Oliver's secret, but Sebastian Blood doesn't. So Slade and Isabel's relationship is clearly thicker than water. Isabel becomes the CEO of Queens Consolidated, no thanks to Oliver, and seemed to be her and Slade's plan from the beginning. Roy leaves Team Arrow and Starling City, and even more surprisingly, no one died this episode. It appears that when the writers of Arrow mentioned that Team Arrow would suffer a major loss, we were all thinking someone is going to die, when clearly they just simply left. Which makes it so much better considering that Roy is going to be called Arsenal and getting a costume sometime soon. But the way that Arrow has Roy planned out right now, it may not seem that he'll be joining the Team Arrow maybe until the season finale. We have reasons to believe that he'll be in the next episode after pausing continuously times to see Roy in the Man Under the Hood preview. So now Slade plans to use the men he freed as his army. He has everything he needs to turn those men into super soldiers now that Queen Consolidated has devoted their work to create Mir Kuru. We see from both the island and in present time that the Mir Kuru has molded Slade's brain completely. His consciousness is shadow, guiding him to do whatever he wants, or whatever. So pretty much Slade is talking to himself, but his conscious is taking on... It's kind of complicated, like his consciousness is shadow, but it's what he thinks that shadow wants him to do. So it's kind of weird. It's like shadow... He thinks that shadow wants revenge for her death, so shadow in Slade's brain is having him do all this stuff to Oliver, just making him suffer, making him feel despair, all this. So pretty much it's just Slade's head messing with him for the past 5 years. And I like the idea how he said that he couldn't hold it back. He couldn't let go of the island because it still is a part of him, and it is to Oliver since he still has the hood as a reference to that island. I had a crazy idea that Slade is following commands from Shadow Spirit as revenge since Oliver chose to save Sarah and not her. There could be a possibility that the good Slade is still in himself, in just that if Oliver finds a cure for Mir Kuru, hence the Star Labs episode, he could bring Slade back to sanity, but still, I would still want to see Deathstroke just not hell-bent to kill Oliver, the Deathstroke we all know and love as a mercenary. Deathstroke the Terminator. Question time. Is Isabel Slade's daughter, Rose Wilson, in secret? This could be possible because if you remember back in episode 6, Isabel told Oliver where she came from. It could have just been a front, a cover-up, so that Oliver wouldn't have thrown suspicion to Isabel being connected to Slade. Now that Queen Consolidated is in control of the quote-unquote evil Trinity, what will happen with Felicity? Will we see Sarah's dark side in this season to come, in the present day? Now for updates on the upcoming episodes this season. Funeral scene was filmed for Street of Fire, the 22nd episode of the season. Episode 20 will focus on Roy's rage, and it turns out that Roy gets into a deadly fight with a police officer. Now, this kind of threw me off because why would they tell us that he got into a fight with a police officer? I mean, there aren't really many police officers that we know except for Lance and Pike. Pike, he's not really important to us. We didn't grow through this series with Pike. We grew with Lance, and since Lance got arrested this episode, it doesn't really make sense for him. I don't really see him getting his job back that quick because with Laurel, she took until the last episode, Birds of Prey, to get her job back, and she got fired in I believe Blind Spot. So yeah, I don't really think that this would be Lance, but if it is Lance, this would make more sense because the synopsis says that Sarah feels Roy should be killed because he's been so far lost in the Mir crew. So this could be that Sarah's just trying to get revenge for to Roy because he nearly killed or maybe killed her dad. Anyways, that's my review for this episode. I'm gonna give this episode a solid 10 for being the most suspenseful episode yet and filled with so much action. Anyways, Arrow returns with The Man Under the Hood April 16th. See you then. Right now, check out my last review for Birds of Prey and The Promise. Subscribe to my main channel, Jedi Knight 450, and subscribe to this channel for more updates and reviews on Arrow. Thanks, bye.